Moments after rejecting the nomination of Khadija Walker for Baltimore County Inspector General, council members are pushing to reform the selection process moving forward, even suggesting the role be expanded.
The push for change comes as the executive, Kathy Klausmeier, has yet to address the media surrounding the vote last night.
I cannot think of any defense for this kind of reaction when you're an official who is beholden to the public. This is the very reason that you have freedom of the press, so the press can ask these kinds of questions.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Kai Jackson.
And I'm Mary Bubala. We have team coverage. Jessica Babb has a closer look at the proposals to change the nomination process.
But we start with Mackenzie Frost and the county executive's silence over the rejection of her nominee. Mackenzie?
Kai and Mary, since the county executive was confirmed, Kathy Klausmeier has had very few and far between media appearances and answering questions from the press in person. The same can be said throughout this entire Inspector General selection process. And an expert tells me that may not be the best way to serve the residents of Baltimore County. After council members cast their votes,
nay,
rejecting County Executive Kathy Klausmeier's pick for Inspector General,
the nomination fails.
Klausmeier herself did not answer any questions from the media. Instead, she issued a lengthy statement defending her decision that sparked a firestorm of controversy and backlash for weeks. Plus, posting a video recording
I am disappointed that Khadija Walker was not confirmed
of her reading the same statement.
I am also appreciative of her poise and grace during what has become a highly politicized process through no fault of her own.
Tuesday, we asked Klausmeier's office for an interview to talk about her decisions throughout the selection process. Opting for less transparency, Klausmeier's office telling Fox 45 News the county executive is not available. Instead, her office pointing Fox 45 News back to the video statement, where again, the appointed county executive argues she did everything within the law.
Our open and thorough selection process not only followed the county charter, which was amended with unanimous support from the county council fewer than 2 years ago, but exceeded legal requirements by including well-respected experts in the field and a council appointee to the interview panel.
When she said in her speech, freedom of speech is truly the bedrock of democratic society. Well, freedom of the press is part of freedom of speech, and the availability of office holders to answer questions is part of freedom of speech. So she obviously doesn't believe in freedom of speech.
Richard Vatz, a rhetoric professor at Towson University, argues Klausmeier's reluctance to speak publicly could come from two reasons.
It's very hard to justify her decisions by the values she claims to hold. The second is that there are some people who are not very good rhetorically. That is, they can't articulate their positions, they can't handle questions, and she seems to be guilty on both of those criteria.
From the beginning of the Inspector General selection process dating back to mid-May, Klausmeier shied away from answering questions from the press. Time and time again, Fox 45 News was told she was unavailable for an interview.
Good morning.
Until
I'd like to welcome Madam County Executive Kathy Klausmeier.
We caught up with her at an unrelated event and questioned Klausmeier about why she publicly said she did not know Kelly Madigan wanted to keep her job as Inspector General.
So that you didn't know she wanted to keep her job, but she was sending emails trying to keep her job.
I'd rather not talk about that.
Instead, we were told she wasn't prepared for that question.
Well, that's one of the biggest things that people want to know, and I think that's a fair question that people, you know.
It is, but it's not something we're prepared to answer right now. And it's something that she has talked about in the past.
We talked about it, and it is. I'm just saying, she's done a great job. I anticipated working with her. I also am waiting for the process to work its way through.
Why, if you believe that she's doing a great job, why not just continue to reappoint her?
Because the process said to me, 5 years after that, you have to talk about it some more. So
She told you that the code was not the right interpretation.
We're finished. Thank you.
okay.
This is not good representation. There are a number of questions that need to be asked about this.
Because she wasn't available for an interview Tuesday, we followed up with Klausmeier's office, asking several questions, including why hasn't the county executive held a press conference to answer questions from the media about this entire process? The county executive has rarely done any media interviews since her confirmation. Is there a reason? Why does the county executive believe Ms. Walker deserved to be paid nearly $50,000 more than what the current inspector general makes for a job she has never performed? What does the county executive say to the people of Baltimore County who feel she's hiding from the media during this entire selection process? The county executive's office did not answer all of our questions specifically, instead pointing us back to previous written statements from Klausmeier. And as for the salary question, a spokesperson says Walker's salary is well within the range for the job, noting she was slated to earn $218,000. While the max salary, according to Klausmeier's office, is $228,000, and Madigan currently makes nearly $170,000, adding, right now, we can't speak to why the salaries are different.
Now, in that video statement that the county executive also posted, she said that she intends to allow the next county executive to decide whether to reappoint Kelly Madigan to stay in the inspector general role or start the selection process over again. In the meantime, Madigan will stay in the position as a holdover. Now, we also submitted public records requests trying to learn more information about the communication between Klausmeier's office and other members of the council, as well as Klausmeier's office and Congressman Johnny Olszewski. We're trying to figure out exactly where the selection process started in the first place. The county tells me they're working on fulfilling that public records request, so when we learn more information, we'll be sure to share it with you. Live in the newsroom, Mackenzie Frost, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.